I am Mansi Singh, senior correspondent with CRN India and Express Computer. And today we have an honor to have with us Mr. V.S. Hariharan, the Group CEO of Redington Limited, for an exclusive conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, Redington Limited is a leading distributor of technology products and services, playing a pivotal role in connecting technology manufacturers with diverse markets. The company's extensive portfolio also spans across personal computing devices, enterprise IT infrastructure, and mobility solutions. Through its robust distribution network and a focus on emerging technologies, Redington provides strategic insights and channel development, helping vendors strengthen their presence across regions. So now, before we delve into this insightful conversation, let me take a moment to introduce Mr. Hariharan to our audience. So, Mr. Hariharan is a seasoned professional with over 3 decades of experience across sales, marketing, and general management. His career is characterized by a dedication to innovation and a focus on fostering growth in diverse competitive markets. In his distinguished career at HP, he held global and Asia Pacific leadership roles, driving significant growth and championing key strategic initiatives that have cemented HP's dominance in the print market. Before HP, Mr. Hariharan ventured into entrepreneurship with Third Wave Power, a company that delivered solar energy solutions to over 6 million customers in off-grid rural areas. His contributions at Wipro Infotech further showcased his ability to navigate challenging geographies and deliver innovative solutions using Sun Microsystems, workstations, and servers. So without further ado, let's begin our conversation. So first of all, thank you, Mr. Hariharan, for joining us today.
Thank you, Mansi. Thank you for having me.
So, sir, I wanted to know from you, how does Redington differentiate itself as a leader in the integrated technology solutions in the global and in the Indian market?
Sure. So Redington has been constantly reinventing as it watches out for the trends. Today, as we all know, the IT distribution market is growing and transforming rapidly with digitalization, IT spending growth, cloud computing, AI, and so on. And every time a new trend happens, Redington closely watches and what it should do. So there are 4 or 5 things that enablers that we work on and makes us different. First, we look at from the customer point of view, these new trends. Are they scalable? Are they big trends that are coming at us? If they are, then we put a focus around having pre-sales resources as well as focus sales teams looking at these opportunities. We continue to work with the reseller ecosystem, but we closely watch on this. Second, we tie up with brands and vendors where we have gaps, and it could be deal-based, it could be an ongoing process. We really bring on board both existing resellers and new resellers who can play a role in complementing and filling the gaps for solutions that we are looking for. In this whole process, our agility is most important. If you look at 5-6 years back, we didn't have an infrastructure as a service cloud business, and now suddenly we have a $500 million business between the hyperscalers across India, Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. That's the kind of agility we have and how to focus on it. And what we have done there is to go from reselling to understanding how to drive consumption and workloads and to do professional services. So we took a multi-prong attack, and we go after big trends, and we put together what it takes to be different and to leverage the opportunity.
Wonderfully mentioned about the key initiatives, sir. And, I wanted to know from you, what are some of the key trends you are observing in the IT sector, right? Holding the position of a group CEO at Redington, and particularly with regard to cloud adoption and digital transformation, what are your thoughts on?
Sure. Some of it that I will share will sound a bit cliche because it's been talked, but I will give our perspective on what's going on and how we see it. Clearly, the IT distribution sector is witnessing a major transformation, and both the customer and the technology is getting more and more sophisticated, and businesses need to turn to these cutting-edge solutions for sustainable growth. So I will call out in a few different areas. Let me first talk about business model trends. There are 2 business model trends that we clearly see. One is a lot of product selling is moving to subscription as a service selling, which is very different. Even software, which used to be sold as license, are now moving to subscription model selling. So products are moving to service and service are moving to pay-per-use. This offers customers and businesses flexibility and scalability to choose what they want when they want. However, when they do this migration, there is also an aspect of is the cost going up, etc. So it is becoming consumption based. And so this is a very key business model that's happening, and we all need to understand when things are sold as a service, there's a consumption model coming into the picture. Telcos have done this for a while when it comes to phones. The second big business model trend that we see is work location trend. Hybrid work post-COVID has become really, really critical, and people want to remote work, remote office management. That the transition to remote and hybrid working has accelerated the demand for a lot of collaboration models. And companies are investing in integrated platform that provide that communication and workflow. So these are two big business model trends that we see. From a technology trends, there are a variety we see again. So cloud is one we talked about, but within cloud, there is hybrid cloud. People can go to public cloud, private cloud, governments can go to sovereign cloud, and then people can be on-prem. And people choose a combination that works for them based on security, confidentiality, cost, and a whole lot of things. And the interesting thing on cloud is the public cloud services finally in 2024 globally surpassed the traditional non-cloud on-prem solutions in terms of business volume. So you can see the migration clearly happening. Obviously, the emerging geographies are still catching up, but globally, that's what is happening. Within cloud itself, there's a whole lot of stuff that's happening. Things are moving from cloud to the edge as people want processing closer to their computing platform. There is portability people want between different hyperscalers, whether it's Microsoft or AWS or vice versa. And people want to use data or multi-cloud providers. So there's a whole lot of things happening, and people have to make choices. The other big tech trend, other than cloud, is the AI. And again, we see a whole lot of things happening there. The first and foremost is the AI smart devices. A lot of the smartphones are now coming equipped with AI enabled. AI PCs are getting launched this year, and it may be the early versions of it, and they'll get more sophisticated over the next 2-3 years. But clearly, all brands have announced these, and there are use cases that are being built out. AI embedded solutions for infrastructure will be another big thing, and a lot of the server manufacturers have enabled and announced AI-enabled servers. And then the third one is the native applications on AI as well as end-user applications. So things like copilots are catching on, and we ourselves are selling the copilot across all our geographies and many other AI softwares. And so both the smart software as well as native apps will play a big role. So we just continue to watch on AI and how it will evolve and how it will contribute to customers reinventing themselves. And then when I go on beyond cloud and AI, there is obviously cybersecurity becoming very critical, sustainability becoming very critical, because the data centers that are coming up and the cloud itself is driving the use of servers and which are more power consuming, and integrated technologies like AI and IoT and blockchain, so on and so forth. So, but I feel three major trends that we are observing is clearly on cloud, different variations, AI, and the digital transformation and things associated with that.
Correct. So, since we'll also talk about some of the consumer trends that you have been seeing right lately. So, what emerging consumer trends do you believe will have the most influence on your services and offerings in the near future?
Certainly. So there are 4 or 5 that we see. Some of them are already big in the environment. Some we are betting on, and some we think are important to our future, and that's how we look at it. So I will go again one by one. Cloud clearly is something we cannot ignore, and we've already invested in the hyperscaler business in the last 4-5 years. And it's, as I mentioned, become a sizable business growing at 38 to 40%. Within our technology solutions group, we have hardware and software. And we have software-enabled hardware, like the networking piece, the storage piece, they're all becoming software-enabled, and pure software as well. There's a whole lot of platform as a service, subscription as a service. So clearly, cloud is not just the hyperscaler business. We're betting on the software business to grow very rapidly, and that will also become subscription-oriented, consumption-oriented. That we feel is an important one. We'll invest. We're already investing on a cloud platform that does analytics, that creates marketplaces, etc. And so we will be very hot on the cloud piece and will invest in it. The AI, clearly I had mentioned before. So it's not just the devices that come from our vendors that will be marketed by us to the customers through the resellers. But we are also internally investing in making our IT cutting edge AI-enabled digital transformation. And we are also investing in services and bots and robotic process automation. We also have a practice internally called DigiGlass, which is a SOC, Security Operations Center, that's AI-enabled. So from an AI perspective, we are investing to understand how it can enable different kinds of services, different kinds of solutions. And we want to understand to use it internally, at the same time offer our customers beyond the products that come from vendors, adjacent services that can be very, very useful. So that will be something definitely will shape Redington's IT transformation and what we go to the market with. Third area I'd mentioned again, cybersecurity is become a big practice, and we'll continue to tap on it. And as I mentioned, we have a small practice within internally called DigiGlass, which is a SOC, Security Operations Center. And we are already doing for about 100 customers in Middle East Africa, and we're going to take this globally on how we can manage security operations for mid-market and small enterprises that cannot invest on it themselves. And last but not the least, sustainability is an area becoming very important, and distribution needs to make their own contribution. So there are 2-3 areas from a business perspective that we are investing in. We have solar rooftop business that we have built in India, and we're just starting in Africa. We'll continue to play a role in building that business out. We are playing a role in e-recycling. Circular economy is becoming a big topic as tech refreshes on the PCs become more important. The taking back of the PCs from existing customers, refurbing them and reselling to people or recycling them is a long food chain. And there are already players in the market. We want to be part of that ecosystem and do our contribution to the planet. At the same time, to enable faster growth of new PCs with AI enablement through tech refreshes. So these are 4-5 trends. And a last one that we think will be very interesting as we go down the road is bottom of the pyramid. This has not been talked about at all over the last decade. India is home to almost 800 million people that live in rural. Similarly, there's a very big population in sub-Saharan Africa that live in rural. All these people have experienced smartphones, but have not experienced PCs. Now, smartphones is a good way to consume technology, but to create and contribute, PCs are critical. And you can see in rural population in India, there is a heightened need for kids' education, parents' skill development, etc. We see PC growth happening in rural markets, and we want to play our role on it along with brands and vendors.
Correct. So since you talked about some of the, major CSR initiatives that you're taking, right? And also what sustainable initiatives you are pursuing at Redington, both in India and globally. So I want you to brief our audience a little on what sustainability initiatives is Redington pursuing both in India and global, and how do you how do these align with the company's broader business strategy?
Certainly. So when I think about sustainability, and I'll talk about sustainability separately and CSR separately, but I'll focus on sustainability just now. It's very critical importance of sustainability for us. And there are a variety of areas, and I will talk about business operations first, and then initiatives second, and businesses third. So we are focused on sustainability in a few different ways. So firstly, within our business operations, we have a stated intent over the last few years to adopt good practices. This has enabled us to be certified A as per the MSCI rating. We have clear achievements and clear action plans for the next 3 to 5 years on eco-friendly practices that not only harnesses solar energy, but implementing green supply chain initiatives to minimize our carbon footprint. So we look at all our offices, all our operations and everything, and we look at how can I minimize my carbon footprint. I'll mention a few examples which could be of interest to the viewers. Firstly, our corporate office has recently received the LEED Platinum rating. It's very challenging to get a platinum rating. It's a leadership in energy and environmental design, and actually comes from the United States Green Building Council. It underscores our commitment to environment sustainability and our efforts to reduce carbon dioxide emissions. Now, this building is equipped with the advanced energy management system, energy efficient lighting, HVAC systems, rooftop solar power plant. And in fact, we even measure the carbon dioxide exhaled by our employees inside and what levels they are at, etc. So it's a very interesting one that we have achieved. The same corporate office, we have a sewage treatment plant, 35,000 liter. The 50% of our annual water consumption is sourced from reused water. Similarly, in UAE, our warehouse automated distribution center, we've installed a 300 kilowatt rooftop solar facility. Our office building in Dubai is also powered by solar. I can go on, but these are a few things that we are doing in our business operations to be sustainable. Next, I'll talk about initiatives, and these are in our operations and our business operations, what we do with partners, vendors, etc. We are obviously beginning to look at which brands, vendors, and resellers we work with, and are they distributing energy efficient, eco-friendly technology products. And clearly, a lot of the brands have taken a big lead and big leap on the materials they use and the type of products they ship, and are they eco-friendly or not. And so we do that. Downstream, we've also registered under EPR, Extended Producer Responsibility, and for which we need to cater to certain norms by the government and also recycle e-waste annually. Similarly, in the Middle East, our subsidiary Ensure operations recycle a lot of e-waste. So these things happen in our operations. We're also working on take-back programs in all our geographies to extend the life cycle of the end user, end-of-life products. And these are also part of the whole sustainability initiative. Again, I talked about business operations, I talked about initiatives, but we also have two businesses that we are focused on, as I mentioned a bit earlier. The solar rooftop business, which is nearly an $80 million business in India, is creating a ecosystem where we distribute, enable engineering procurement contracts to go after the solar rooftop business, and we act as a distribution company there. Again, playing an important role to accelerate that ecosystem. We're beginning to do that in Africa. I mentioned about recycling of PCs. We are at early stages, but we are already talking to our channel partners and customers about getting PCs back from the system and really doing an ethical recycling, because a lot of recycling happens in the market today, which are more unorganized, and we want to be more ethical so that they're done the right way and they don't get back into the system in a wrong way. And we continue to win accolades. So recently we won the Business World Top 50 Most Sustainable Sustainable Companies. And I think we'll continue to play an important role as a distributor, what we can on the value chain, on business operations, and creating new businesses around sustainability.
I think very well said, and that was very insightful. So, since we'll also talk about some of your innovative CSR programs that you have implemented, and what impact have they had on the community development?
Sure. Like all listed companies, we have to have a CSR program, and we got passionate about it when we created. In fact, I was on the board, and I was leading the CSR committee of the board at that time. And we created a foundation that was established, a trust that will drive our CSR initiatives. we said based on our knowledge of the IT industry, our experience, the gaps in the market we see, we wanted to focus on a few areas that we felt were best suited for Redington and where we can make a difference. So there are three areas clearly that we called out. One was skilling to employment. Skilling to employment. Second was education to empower. And the third one was larger community initiatives around environment and health. And again, all of these were to support underserved communities, which is what we wanted to do. So I'll talk about each of these. In the skilling to employment, what we have done is we have done a variety of initiatives to create skill people from the underserved community and get them full-time employment. And it spans across logistics and supply chain. Recently, we created a center in Chennai called COLT, along with logistics supply chain. Similarly, we have partnered with NSDC and on training the underserved population on advanced technical skills such as cloud, AI, ML, cybersecurity. And some of them we have done in close collaboration with brands and vendors like Microsoft and AWS. The outcome, 13 lakh training hours in the last year, 3,500 plus beneficiaries, and 70% assured placements of jobs. So we work on not just the training part, but people coming and picking these people up into roles and jobs. So the skilling to employment will continue to be a big initiative for us. A second area of community development is educate to empower. There are again a variety of initiatives that we have worked on. One is promoting digital literacy with children in rural areas, a variety of initiatives we worked on. We partnered with HP in what is called as a WOW bus, which is a world on wheels. It's a bus that moves with computers and applications inside. It goes to different rural areas and people get trained on it. So we partnered to do that. We've also done a project called the WASH. We call the internally the WASH project. It's to improve health and sanitation in government schools, providing toilets, clean running water. Again, we have targeted nearly 15,000 students annually as part of this initiative. Each year, we select a school and implement this. And it has helped in increase enrollments and reducing dropouts, especially for girl children. We do scholarships for students who need financial support. We've done mobile health units in rural villages, restoration of water bodies and rebuilding of wells. We've run environment programs like water restoration, renewable energy. We provide training on renewable energy. So a variety from skilling to employment to educate to empower to community activities around environment and health. Our aim is to really create a positive impact on society and create a more equitable future through these programs. And we started our focus in southern part of India, but now we've gone pan-India, wherever we have the reach and the capability and partnerships.
Right. That was very enlightening. So, as a CEO, how do you assess the future of Indian IT and channel industries, in terms of opportunities and challenges?
Certainly. So let's take a step back and see what is going on in the market in India. And some of these that I will talk about are nothing new. All of us know. Clearly, the whole catalyst that happened around digital came from the government to the digital public goods. And the government continues to enable many new things now, ONDC and on and on. Clearly, the innovation in India is growing by setting up with the global capability centers. There's a lot of GCCs that are cropping up everywhere. The Make in India is catching a lot of momentum, and there is an opportunity not just for the manufacturers, but for distributors like us to be able to target the GCCs and the Make in India players on a variety of things. Digital India, startup ecosystem, there are more than 100 unicorns. The semiconductor ecosystem that's being built, AI services, MSME focus. So there is a whole lot of things that are happening. Our job as a distribution company is to look for these ecosystems as they are forming on one side, the technology trends on the other side, like cloud and AI and sustainability that I talked about, and really see what kind of solutions, because vendors provide products and software as a service, and customers want to consume them differently. And we, as a distributor have to play a very important role to say, what is my offering and how do I bring this offering? And so we have been clearly organizing ourselves both on the sales side and the channel side and the brand side, what kind of products I should have, what kind of partnerships I should have. The clear opportunity and a challenge, opportunities are plenty. Challenges are also plenty. We've been traditionally a very hardware distributor over the last 4-5 years. We've reinvented ourselves on software and software as a service. Our channel partners, some of them have, some of them have not. So clearly, what we see is we need to be able to build competency in-house, and we are doing that, for example, in the case of cloud. We're building our own competency on migration, on modernization, on DevOps, on FinOps. But we want to use that to train our reseller partners also on some of these, because if we want to scale some of this business, we really need to bring along our partners, reseller partners in this journey who are capable, who are willing to invest. It will take a lot because topics like digital transformation and AI, I mean, just take AI. As we roll out co-pilots, we find that use cases are becoming very important. So to be able to identify the use cases that customers will see as a opportunity to transform have to be understood, adopted, scaled by us and in partnership with resellers. Similarly, in the cloud journey. So there's a lot of work to do, building competency and training and migrating.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think you have mentioned almost all the subjects and the what Redington is, bringing to the table for all the customers in the channel industry, right? So with this, my last question to you is, what are some of the key milestones that Redington aims to achieve in 2024 and beyond, and how will they shape the company's long-term vision?
So let me start off by giving you a bit of statistic about Redington. Redington is today the 7th largest IT distributor globally. And this is as per a report published by Canalys. And we moved from last year to the year before last to last year, from number 9 to number 7. Clearly, we don't operate in the biggest markets, which is USA, Europe, and China. And we are content with the markets we operate in, which is India, Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. But these markets have very high growth potential. And we are number 1 in most markets, maybe number 2 in a few, and number 1 in most categories that we play in. We want to continue to have that kind of leadership position and positioning because it makes us relevant for brands, for customers, for partners. And we have businesses across mobility, PCs, emerging businesses like gaming, to server storage, networking, software as a service, cloud, etc. And clearly, what we are going to do as we go forward is we want to continue to be a very important player in cloud. We are ahead of many distributors in cloud in the regions we play in. And when I talk about cloud, I'm talking about subscription broadly, which includes hyperscaler business, as well as platform as a service and software as a service. Clearly, we want to be, it's $1 billion business within Redington right now, all put together. And we want to be a leader there, and we want to grow that rapidly. And we're growing at 35 to 40%. And in 2024, we're hoping it'll grow the same way, and we will have our fair share of that. AI early stages, we will want to be able to this year really understand everything that's going on in AI and what's expected in the next 3 years. So we're building our plans, whether it's devices, whether it's servers and storage, whether it's software. And we want to be really understanding the early use cases that will succeed and scale. The amount, the business we do on AI may be small, but this year's investment understanding will set us up for the next 3, 4, 5 years. So that's going to be a very important part. As I mentioned about AI PCs, I think we expect a resurgence in PCs this year with AI-enabled PCs, with the refreshes going faster. And we want to be able to play a role on workstations and PCs that are AI-enabled and have our leadership share on it. And also be able to understand, which segment of the market, how is it being used, what is the scale position there. So we want to be able to get that going. We clearly want to play our role in sustainability. We will not ever be a big sustainability player, but as a distribution company, we want to make our fair contribution. And cybersecurity, I've mentioned again, we want to play an important role there. And last but not the least, bottom of the pyramid and rural is a passionate topic for me. If we can make some inroads into that market where PC adoption is very low, that will be a good icing on the cake, and that will be a great future market for us and for all companies. But it will just in the beginning of its whole ramp up. So we are hoping for that. So those are the critical milestones, I would say. There are many, many more. Clearly, there's been some very good NPIs and launches on new smartphones, AI enabled. We see those taking off. There are lots of new software partnerships we have announced, software as a service and software. So we hope those will take off. So I can't say it's a very complex business with many, many products. And we're also building many new routes to market. We want to hone them. We want to build on them and take them forward. The digital platform for hardware and the digital platform for cloud that we have built over the years, we are honing, reinvesting on those and right-sizing them. We are hoping those will play an important role for us in terms of how we go to market for the future.
So thank you, sir, for sharing such valuable insights on, Redington strategy, trends, which is shaping the IT sector, and your company's commitment to innovation and sustainability. It's clear that Redington will continue to play a very crucial role, in the distribution space in the technology ecosystem, and we are very excited to see the milestones you achieve in the coming years. So once again, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure having you with us today.